and welcome. I'm Phyllis. I live in Tennessee. Today I'm cleaning out the fridge, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to make from cleaning out the fridge. Guys, today we are making what I call, and what the term is, railroad pie. Railroad pie. First of all, let me tell you how it got that name. In the 19th and 20th century, people were building railroads everywhere. And of course, if you're working, you need some lunch. So what they did was they decided they would make things, well, they had to make things that were convenient, fast, could get people fed. They had to use what they had. And so they came up with this railroad pie. And basically it is kind of like a pie. Let me tell you about, there's all kind of versions of it. This is my version of the railroad pie, is clean out the refrigerator day. Okay, I had hamburger meat left over. This is how I always make my my railroad pie. Hamburger, I found 1/4 of an onion in the refrigerator. This is probably the hamburger meat I had, might have been a pound, a little less than a pound of hamburger. So I'm browning my onion and my meat right now in this skillet. This pan back here, I found in my refrigerator, I found some leftover butter beans, and some carrots. Yeah, the carrots are whole. I'm thinking maybe I might cut them up. And I found a few noodles I needed to use. So there's about 1/4 cup of noodles. And basically just those vegetables I had left over. I also found, we're going to make this in a 10-inch skillet, guys. I found these green beans that were left over. They were already thawed out. So I've already dumped those. I've greased my 10-inch skillet. And I've already dumped my beans in here because this recipe is so easy, because you're going to put everything in here, but I'm kind of just warming the vegetables up a little bit. You're going to put everything in here and bake it with the beautiful cornbread topping. And then you're just going to slice it down and serve it. All right, I've got my 10-inch skillet greased. Dumped my green beans in. I had some leftover lima beans, so I threw them in. And the carrots. And I will put a can of Rotel because you just need that little kick. Now, I've already seasoned this with no salt, which means no salt, which is no salt. It sounds like I said I didn't put any salt in it. Basically, this is potassium. Yeah, but basically. I put some pepper, of course. I put garlic, of course, and Montreal seasoning, Montreal steak seasoning in here. I'm fixing to, of course, get my grease off in a minute. I don't want the grease in there. My hamburger is getting done, but I want to add some Worcestershire or Worcestershire sauce. So I'm going to grab that out of my fridge right now. I guess I should pour that in after I get my grease off, so I don't take any of this out. So let's do that first. Let's get our grease off of our pan, out of the pan, and then we'll add our Worcestershire sauce. You know, I never had a sister. I wish I had. I had 2 brothers, 2 baby brothers. And I mean, telling you, they were my babies, and they still are. I love them to death. They are the best things in the world. They are so good to me. Man, you know, if you have brothers like that you love, you know what I'm talking about. But I was never blessed with a sister. And so I had a lot of aunts that made up for that loss of not having a sister. I had a lot of wonderful aunts. At my age, I've lost all my aunts. And I've got one uncle left, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he might be 82 years old. I may be adding a year onto his life, I don't know. He's around 82, and he's not in good health. And when he passes away, that will be all my aunts and uncles. But if you've got a sister and maybe you don't live close to her, or maybe y'all live, you know, different states, give her a call today. I'm going to call my brothers today. One lives in Louisiana. I'm in Tennessee. He's in Louisiana. The other one's in Illinois. I don't know how that worked out like that, but man, it did. Now, this is ready to go into our iron skillet. Let's add this. Worcestershire. Probably I'm going to put, I would say, at least 2 capfuls for the amount we've got. Just add that in. Oh, that is smelling so good. Now, I did get out a can of veg oil just in case I don't think I have enough veggies from what I had left over in my fridge. And some of this I got out of the freezer. So, I've got this out just in case we feel like, there's just not enough vegetables in there. All right, guys. I'm fixing to add a can of Rotel. Oh, it's already open. Yay! So let's put our Rotel in now. Rotel, you know, it's just basically tomatoes. It's got some citric acid, vitamin C, and some green chili peppers. And this is not hot because Alan and I cannot do the hot. This is just the mild. This is a Kroger knockoff. All of this is going to cook in my oven. I'm going to go ahead and get my oven turned on and get it baking. Got my green beans right here in my 10-inch skillet that we're going to bake it in. You can do this easily at night if you get the ingredients. Just run by the grocer and get your ingredients and then just throw it in. Brown your beef and make it. It's a good cold weather meal. I don't love it in the summer, but in the winter I really like it. I think I'm going to take my little, now that my carrots are tender, I'm just going to take the edge of my spoon and I'm going to just chop them into some bite-sized pieces. I thought the carrots might add just a little color. Our sun is out today. We have a beautiful sunny day. I think the temperature's in the 30s. Our snow is beginning to melt. I was going to show y'all our snow at the end of the video, how it's melted. I made a snow video a few days ago to show you how much snow we got. All right, let's get on with our recipe. What we'll do next is we'll just, we'll put all of our meat in our 10-inch skillet. And you guys who watch me, you know I'm going to fill this skillet up, don't you? You know I'm going to fill it up. You can make this in a 9x13 if you don't have a 10-inch skillet. If you don't have one, just do it in 9x13. All right. You know, that looks like a lot of meat. Stir our green beans up in it. You know, the sad thing about cooking on TV is you can't smell it. I wish you were here. Wish you were sitting in here having a cup of coffee with me while I cook it. How I show you how simple this is. You know, you could even make all this at night and put it together. Put it in your fridge, and when you come home from work, throw your cornbread topping on it and sling it in the oven and let that bake, and you'd have a meal for your family. But I'm retired. I'm a retired RN, so I've got time to cook it. Alan's out in the shop working, and so this is going to be his lunch. When he's out there building a dining room table, and I'll show you what it looks like. But anyway, he comes in and this will be ready for lunch and he'll be ready for it. Did y'all get any snow? And I hope it didn't, hope your power wasn't off. I know some people in Arkansas, their power was off, and I thought, oh, that's the pits. Now I'm going to strain the water off of this before I add it to the mixture. And I've got lima beans and carrots and 1/4 cup of noodles that were left over. So, do you think it's looking good? Let me bring you up a little closer, so you can see the pot. Do you think it's looking okay? I'm just going to kind of cut these little carrots so they'll be bite-sized, so you can eat one. I thought that would add a little color to our pie. But isn't it interesting that people built those railroads out in all kind of weather and temperatures, and they had to eat what they had and what they could find, and I'm sure they ate a lot of root vegetables that were left over in the winter. But this makes a good winter pie. You see, I just put a few noodles in. You could put more. You can put anything in here. Green peas, purple whole peas. I'm telling you guys, I just cleaned out the fridge. So this is kind of our little mixture of what I had left over. I had these carrots left over from a roast that I had done. So that's just what's left over. All right, now our next deal, you know, I showed you how to make cornbread, so got my oven heating up, so let's make our cornbread. All right, let's get our cornbread going so we can put it on top of our railroad pie. What I have in here, you know I don't measure, but today I measured because I want to help you guys. You know I have a cornbread, how to make cornbread. Southern cornbread is what this is. So this is strictly Southern cornbread. 2 cups of cornmeal, 1 tablespoon of self-rising flour. That's optional. You don't have to do it. 2 eggs. Usually, you know, I always put my little eggs in a container. So what we're going to do, now let's go back to the optional. Sugar is optional. We like sweet, you know, we're in the South. We love sweet cornbread. So this is less than 1/3 a cup of sugar. So let's mix all this together, our tablespoon of flour and a little bit of sugar. Let's just mix that up. And I'll make a little well down in here. I've got, what did I start out with? I started out with 2/3 a cup of just whole milk. And I'm going to just mix it in. Kind of go around to my sides. Get my batter. Get the cornmeal mixed in. It's really thick, so I've got less than 1/4 of a cup left. So we'll go ahead, add that. You want this to be not real thick. You want it to just be, I'm going to add the rest of the milk. Now we're going to put our eggs in. I always look at my eggs to make sure they're okay. 1 more egg. You don't want to break your egg in here because it could be something wrong with it. 2 eggs. All right, let's whip this up. Now, you say, oh, I can't make cornbread. Oh, yeah, you can. If you get it too wet, add more cornmeal. If it's too dry, put another egg in there or some milk. Mine is too wet for a topping. See how wet it is? It's just like water. It's not ruined. I'm going to go get some cornmeal. It's so easy, guys. Isn't that a cute little dipper? It's a little china cup that I found for nothing. I think a dime or something. I used it for a little scoop. All right, I'd say that's probably 1/4 of a cup. I may need more. But here's the thing when you cook. It's that you can't ruin it. And you certainly can't ruin cornbread. Guys, I'm not there. We may have to add a whole half of a cup of corn, another whole half, which would make this quite a bit. Well, I just went ahead and scooped out a whole cup. All right, I'm going to add another 1/4 of a cup. My finger is so big, I can't get it out of that tiny little china cup. All right, I think we're about there now. Making cornbread is really fun, and there's really nothing to it. So make you some cornbread. If you're going to make it and not put it on our, we're putting it on our topping, but if you're just making cornbread muffins, spray your pan. If you're making cornbread in a 10-inch skillet, be sure you put a little vegetable oil in there and get that vegetable oil hot in your 10-inch skillet in your oven. Put it in for about 3 to 4 minutes. Watch it. Make sure it doesn't get too hot, because it will catch on fire if it gets too hot. And then when the vegetable oil gets warm and hot, take this and just put this in your 10-inch skillet. All right, we're going to go back over to our railroad pie and put our topping on. Come on over here with me. All right, guys, here we go. Let me bring you up just a little closer where you can see how this is what I'm going to do with my cornbread mix. I've got my oven heated up. If you don't have your oven on, turn your oven on. I'm going to kind of smooth this out just a little so it can bake. My sinuses are bothering me. Are yours? Oh my gosh. I have been sniffling through this whole video. All right. Let me give this one more little quick stir. Your batter will get a little thicker the longer it sets. This spoon out of this. I'm going to take it. I'm just going to drop it on there. Just going to pour it around. Spread it out on the top. Now, I guess when they did the railroad pie back in the day, they didn't have to mess up another pan for the topping. You can put biscuits on here. You can if you want. We're just in the South, and we'll take biscuits or cornbread because we like them both. We like biscuits and we like cornbread. This will cook for 30 to 40 minutes. And then you'll take it out and you'll serve it. And I think you'll be very impressed. People will really enjoy it. It's a very hearty dish. That's why I think it's very good for the winter months. It's hot, warm food when you bring it out. You get some vegetables. Now you see, guys, how easy that was. I'm going to put it in the oven, and when it gets done, I'm going to bring you back, and I'm going to let you take a bite of it. See what you think. 350 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes. All right. Well, I'll tell you, you need 2 hands to get this in the oven. Oh. I did it with 2 hands. Hey, guys. It's been 35 minutes. I'm going to look in here and see what we got going on a railroad pie. Well, it does look like it is done. My goodness. Okay. Look at this railroad pie. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my gosh, I'm really surprised it came out so well. Come on up here and take a look at it. Isn't it beautiful? It's full. I left it in to cook, and it's done a great job. All right. Isn't it so pretty? I think it turned out really, really well. I'm going to go over here where the carrot is and where the cornbread is, and the meat, and a piece of cornbread. All right, guys. Let me turn you up here where you can see how it came out on my piece. See it on my piece of china? Don't you just love my china that I've got? Let me bring you over here. You can see it. Here's our railroad pie. And here's what it looks like. I just scooped me out some. I've got some noodles in there. I've got some, do I have any green beans? Carrots? Let's just see what it tastes like. Let me turn you up here. I appreciate y'all coming by today, joining me, coming in my kitchen here in Tennessee. Let's take a bite of this. I dropped the biggest piece of cornbread, and that would have been so good in my mouth, but I didn't get it. Love these carrots. Ooh, it's hot. Oh, I do get some green beans. Got a big noodle. It's got a really good flavor. You know, we could put cheese, put all that before we put on our cornbread. You could have put some cheese in there. If you had some cheese you needed to use, that was going bad, or about to go bad. Don't eat bad cheese. The flavors. I'm not even hungry. I just got a really good bite of the rotel. That was really good. The rotel, the little green chilies, the cornbread, the hamburger. It's just so many different tastes. Now, like I told you guys, you make your railroad pie the way you want to make it. Just be sure and eat it on this fine china like I am. Now I'm going to take another bite or two. Then we're going to walk out in the snow. I'm going to show you. We had 5 inches of snow, and we were so glad to get it. And everybody just loved it. The kids were out of school. They could play in it. The grandkids were out of school, and they had the biggest time. So I'm going to take you out. We're going to walk around. I'm going to show you what we've got left. Our temperatures have been up, I think, to 36 yesterday. So some of it's melted. But we did get 5 inches. Okay, let me get my coat and we'll go out in the snow. Okay, guys, here we are. We're outside on my porch. I'm gonna take you around, let you see how much snow we had left from our 5 inches that we got. We still have quite a bit left. It's so pretty. So we're just gonna go for a little walk and look at the snow. Join me. Let's go on our walk. You can see the ice. It's really slick today. It's a beautiful sunny day. Boy, that is some slick ice. The wind is blowing. It's pretty cold. The snow is pretty, so pretty. Boy, our backyard still has a lot of snow on it. I'm going to show you how icy it is today. Slick it. Yesterday it wasn't like that. I don't know if you can see how icy it is. It's just icy. Isn't it pretty? It's all out of the trees. It's almost all off my roof. Just a little bit on the roof. And a bunch on the yard. And boy, that wind. I think the temperature might be 20 something. But the wind is blowing about probably 15 miles an hour. Beautiful sunny day. Guys, thanks for joining me today on making the railroad pie, and I sure appreciate you who have subscribed to my channel, and if you've liked my videos and you've given me a thumbs up or 2 thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Make you some railroad pie. Use the ingredients you want to use, and I think you'll really enjoy it on a cold winter day in January. I love you guys so much. See you in the next video. Bye.